All right, I'm gonna preface this really quickly. If this clip ends up being in the video, it's because the absolute most unfortunate thing might have just happened while recording. Our mixer decided to say "fuck you" and froze midway through our recording, or not midway, literally at the end of our recording.
56 minutes and like 40 seconds.
56 minutes. So if this episode has raw camera audio, I truly apologize.
It's too good to scrap.
But yeah, this episode was too good to scrap, and we really got shafted by our own mixer here. So nonetheless, if you see this clip right here, that's why.
Apologies in advance.
Yeah, apologies in advance.
You're going to hear this crispy ass audio right at the beginning, and then about
shit the bed
about
right
30 seconds from now, you're going to hear us talking through the camera audio.
Yeah,
so
bear with us. Sorry for that. Thank you again for being here, and hope you guys enjoy the episode. Welcome back to the Fxner Fan Podcast. We are back from our short break.
Or not so short break.
It's our almost 4 to 5 week break, a month and some change, something like that. Right now, we have some updates. Obviously, I haven't been around for a little bit. We did record I will say we did record an episode in that break, but
audio only for that one.
Audio only for that one because we had some issues with our camera visual stuff here. So that one, if you want to see that one, it is available on Spotify at Fxner Fam. Go over there, check that out. And if you did see or hear that one, I should say, thank you for checking it out and actually keeping up with us. Cause
good shit if you listen to that.
We had some solid stuff in there. I'll give you guys those who missed it. Obviously, a lot of you probably did because we're not that biggest platform yet, but we do have a fair amount of people who stick around. There was still. And big shout out to these people. There was still, I looked at it because I was looking at our Anchor stats. There was still somebody or some people who listened to a total of like 200 and some odd number of minutes over the time that we weren't posting. So shout out to you guys, whoever the fuck you are. You know who you are.
Probably new viewers.
Yeah, new viewers or whoever.
Watching all of it.
Yeah. Also shout out to people on TikTok because there's still likes and comments.
Or stalkers.
Yeah, that too. But yeah. While we were gone, and this is an update for stuff that happened during that little break, and we talked about in the last episode, that's audio only, again. Messi solidified himself as the GOAT. That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT! But
Messied all over the other team, bro.
Yeah. Respect to the Ninja Turtle from France, who scored a shitload of goals, but Messi mode was activated. So yeah.
He made a mess out of them.
Yeah, and respectfully, you can't really discredit that performance from Mbappe anyway. But I mean, what more can you do when your team's not doing shit?
Mr. Mbappe.
Yeah,
good effort.
GG's, but not good enough. But yeah, so.
What if he wears Bape? He probably calls him Mbappe.
That would be awesome. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, that'd be pretty funny. Another update with Messi being solidified as the GOAT. No teams accepted Ronaldo's request to join their team, so now he's playing in Saudi Arabia. He's
probably gonna make a fuckload of money.
He made a shitload of money.
Oh my
He's getting
God.
like $75 million a year for the next 3 years or something like that, which is nuts. So
I'm gonna get into this. I'm thirsty.
We got an update. As you guys know, this show not sponsored yet, but is always brought to you by Prime.
All right, we're gonna do a little taste test here.
This time we got Prime Energy, so we'll go ahead and read off the new stats, because this one does have different stats.
I'm going to say right now for this one, WKSI, and we'll segue into Logan in a second here and address his issue, but first off...
Yeah, this time around, here's your advertisement. 200 milligrams of caffeine, 0 sugar, 300 milligrams electrolytes, and, for all those weirdos out there, it's vegan.
Yeah, it's vegan.
Whatever product was in there that was making it up.
King. Go off.
Yes. We're doing that now. All right. First taste, that's a Prime Energy. Good carbonation to start off. Woo!
It does taste like strawberry watermelon.
Yeah. It's reminding me of... It's got a little bit of tart to it. It's a little sour. It reminds me of the watermelon Sour Patch Kids. You know, that's exactly what it is.
It does.
It's good.
It's good. I'm not gonna say it dethrones Red Bull for me.
No. I think I'd still. I would prefer the flavor of Red Bull, but I think I don't like. I guess texture. I don't know the.
But this
consistency
is a
good.
strawberry watermelon. This is a brand new flavor.
Yeah. They also did. I don't know if it's technically. I don't know about the regular because we saw it there. I don't know if the regular version got updated, but we saw the regular orange there. But they also have orange mango. I don't know if they're gonna change the orange to call it orange mango.
I believe the orange is just orange.
Orange
and
mango's gonna be
the
separate.
energy is orange mango.
Okay. All right.
That one's probably good.
That one probably smacks.
That one I'm excited for. I did get that one too.
Yeah, we also did buy that, so don't worry.
But for the pot, I want to try the new guy.
I mean, this is pretty good. I'm kind of throwing this motherfucker back. Pause. But yeah, W drink. So far, so good. So yeah, shout out to KSI. Shout out to KSI. Logan Paul slightly right now because going into that. Update while we were gone. Another thing that happened. Logan Paul kind of got into some shit.
Got into a couple things. First was the whole religious issue with George Janko.
Yeah, W George.
W George as usual. George Janko, if you don't watch the Impulsive podcast, is one of the three hosts along with Mike Malek and Logan Paul, who is a Christian, a very outspoken Christian, and regardless of what your views are on Christianity, Logan Paul did something kind of out of pocket for
anybody,
for anyone,
especially
someone who's supposed to be best friends with George.
Yeah.
So they pretty much went back and forth on an episode of Impulsive. You can go watch it.
You can go look at. There's clips everywhere.
But
yeah, there's clips everywhere.
You can go watch it. He basically just shits on George for a straight 25 minutes.
Yeah, not only George but religion in general.
Yeah,
in a sense. So
and me personally, I'm an atheist. So if I'm saying it's bad, it's bad.
Yeah.
Because I still will respect anyone's religion.
Yeah, everyone's beliefs are everyone's beliefs. Yeah.
I still, and for me, it's like Christianity and God and everything. It has helped my family out a lot. So
yeah, but
by all
you don't
means,
have to connect to it. Is what
by all means, go for it.
Yeah.
That's what makes you happy. That's what makes George happy. That's what makes my
exactly.
family.
That's
a lot of people, millions and millions of people.
If it helps you sleep at night,
happy.
do you?
And Logan kind of just the big comment he made that was bad was I think you should get a therapist because God's not doing it for you.
Yeah,
that's
super fucked.
That was where the line that was crossed, where it was then addressed later on the podcast. And to play devil's advocate, I at least give him a little bit. I don't want to say respect, but I give him a little bit of credit for addressing this on the podcast after the fact, because they could have just not mentioned it. But
yeah,
he addressed it and showed his view. However, his view was shitty. So
yeah. I think it was more or less sharing a view versus trying to force a view on someone. If that makes sense. Because there is one thing where it's okay, sure, I understand your point. If you would have said, oh yeah, that's your beliefs, that's fine. This is how I see it, and kind of relate, kind of went back and forth as a back and forth instead of being well, you need help because obviously God ain't working. I don't know.
I mean, it's one thing if you can tell him in a better way that he need. You can tell him you would recommend getting a therapist to him without
disrespecting
on his religion,
disrespecting his entire belief system.
They don't have to be
related,
connected.
Yeah. The thing that I thought that really set this apart from all the shit that Logan's done in the past is that. Even Mike is the last person who ever disagrees for the most part with Logan's takes on shit, at least from what I've seen.
Well,
this one he instantly was just
he calls Logan out on his shit when he's wrong usually.
Yeah. But this was the one that I saw him react the fastest to. He was just right when he says oh yeah, he's oh shit.
And he's also, and I commend Mike a lot too because he's done a pretty good job of trying to get George involved. More often on these last podcasts. He's had a rough George has had a rough run with the last couple of podcasts.
Hell yeah. Especially with the Bobby Lee shit, which we talked about.
Yeah.
That's another thing
that was his one slip up, but even that episode, he was getting fucking murdered.
Yeah.
But that one was that was kind of his fault how it ended up. Mm-hmm. But there was a few in a row, and I've seen this point made a few times, and I agree with it. I'm not the one who came up with this by any means, but I do agree with it. Someone said that it's their seating arrangement. Just how Mike and Logan are always together, and then George is the guest is between George and then Mike and Logan on the other side.
Yeah.
So people were saying, I think,
like a disconnect.
more like, people were saying, since it's Logan's podcast, and when the guest comes, usually most of the attention is directed towards Logan.
The guest should be next to him, right?
The guest should be with Logan, and then George and Mike should be on the other thing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Either that, or someone else I saw commented on there. I don't know if you ever seen Flagrant podcast, Andrew Schultz, comedian. I'm sure you know it if you saw it.
If I saw it, but I don't know
it.
You
would 100% know if you saw it. But the Flagrant podcast, they literally, it's like a coffee table and like
they're around it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So everyone's kind of facing each other instead of like, it's not like how we have it where I'm facing you.
Yeah.
Like fucking talking with my hands. I can't move my fucking arm.
This guy's injured, by the way. Another
We'll get to that. I want to get through both of these slogan things while it's on my head, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, it's. I think that would definitely fix the issue. But, so George has just been getting kind of fucking railed.
Yeah,
George is
and for a guy who really doesn't try to get into problems a lot, like he's not a guy who stirs up the pot or anything.
And I think from that, from the Bobby Lee situation, I think he kind of learned. I think he kind of learned that in comedy you have to have that thicker skin.
Yeah. He learned to be able to take a blow here and there.
Yeah. And I mean, he seems like a cool dude.
Yeah,
he seems like a genuine dude.
Yeah, he's not really.
And I know it's like hard to say that about content creators. You don't really know them, but he vlogs and shit, and you watch that, and like you see kind of different sides.
Yeah,
of
I was
his
gonna
life,
say because out of all of them, and Mike has his content here and there, with his night shift vlogs and stuff like that. But I think the most consistent one as far as content across the board and like being frequent is George. So you get more, insight into his, kind of personality.
I would say him and Mike are pretty close. I would say right now probably Mike. For a while it was George for consistency, but both of them are like they're on that shit. Yeah, I mean the night shift is just fucking unreal.
Yeah,
he's had some.
That is the definition of just fucking around. Like
it's great content.
It is awesome.
It's
That's
great
it's
content.
awesome, but it is quite literally the spitting image of fucking around.
Well, the thing about the night shift is it's not just like something anyone can do, because a lot of the good episodes have been like going to fucking Europe, going to fucking LA, going to Vegas, going to we're here, in Saudi Arabia.
Granted, you can kind of downscale it to like daily vlogging and going around and doing stupid shit, but the scale that he's on at this point is just it's unmatched. Like it's pretty interesting. Like one day he'll be in LA, the next day he'll be in Saudi Arabia riding a camel and
his last
down in a beer.
video was Vegas for the adult film festival or whatever it's called.
The award show, whatever the hell they have. Yeah.
You know what we're getting at. Like, come on.
If you're over the age of 12, you probably know what we're talking about. But anyway.
It's 2023. I'm gonna say over the age of like 6 to 8 now. It seems like
Jesus
kids
Christ.
of the internet keep getting access to shit they shouldn't.
Yeah, this is true. Well, whether it's not like consciously doing it or just coming across it by accident, that's what we'll leave it at. But yeah, then going into again with Logan Paul,
we got fucking 6th graders walking around with the fucking jewel. I'm sure they've seen porn.
This is so true. But yeah, keeping on the topic of the Impulsive crew, well, mainly Logan Paul. Recently, he had a huge fiasco with crypto and what's his name, CoffeeZilla. There was a YouTuber by the name of CoffeeZilla. If you don't know who he is, definitely go check him out. He does a lot of, I guess, investigation / informative videos on whatever's going on that are like cases that people might not be looking into, or things that were already looked into, and he kind of breaks them down for people to understand in a simpler form. He decided to, this time, his go-around was going to be on Logan Paul's product, CryptoZoo is what it's called?
Yeah, CryptoZoo was a game that he called it.
Yeah.
Where basically it was, you get an egg, and it's a NFT picture of an egg that hatches over time, and then you get an animal out of it, and you can
so essentially
you could crossbreed the animals, and it's this was like a year or two ago that it started, or maybe I think a year, and basically it would take the two animals and make it, AI would make a picture of it.
Okay, so
it's like
it was essentially an overpriced Tamagotchi.
Yeah, and the thing is, if it worked, it would be like, okay, me personally, I think it's stupid.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
not with
PNG. I can
NFTs.
make that at home.
I'm not
I'm
with
good.
NFTs.
No.
If any of you fucking internet warriors out there want to call me a boomer because I don't understand NFTs.
Yeah, boomer, you fucking bozo.
I know the concept. So before you come at me, I know the concept. I know what blockchain and all that bullshit. Yeah. I know what minting an NFT.
I'm sorry, I'm not paying $1,000 for a picture of a whale elephant.
I'm not doing it. I think the blockchain and shit makes sense for certain things.
Yeah.
But
PNGs and
JPEGs, I think
JPEGs
can have practical use in terms of ownership over like content and stuff.
Yeah.
I think like for a video would be
for like long form content.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because you could use it to prove that this is a video I made.
Yeah, like when it comes to
copyright, not me re-uploading some shit. Like I have this whatever ownership proof.
Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah.
And I upload it, and this is my video.
Yeah.
I didn't take this.
Yeah, for big pieces of content that people might try to steal or try to recreate their own version of and say it's theirs, I think that could be a really viable thing. I think for PNGs and JPEGs that damn near 90% of people with some computer knowledge can make, no. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But like I said it before when we talked about NFTs. I'll screenshot before I pay for the shit, bro.
But
sorry.
regardless of what your opinion on NFTs is, the project was essentially abandoned.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go into the whole story of it. If you want,
I'll link copies.
This is what we will link.
This is important shit. We'll link it below.
We can link all 3 fucking parts because this guy
well, part 3 is on his Patreon, so you have to pay for that one if you want to see that. But
all 3 parts are on YouTube.
Are they?
Yeah.
I thought okay.
Put all of them out there.
Okay, then I think what it was because I remember I was watching. And I said this before. I was watching Jamari. Shout out Jamari, by the way.
I think some of the interviews are on Patreon.
Yeah.
Like full interviews.
Yeah. So again, like I was saying, I was originally what I had saw is, and again, shout out Jamari for this. I do make some good content about stuff that's going on, similar to what we do on the podcast. But what was happening was he talked about how, the whole how CryptoZoo was being a rug pull and the fact that the focus wasn't on that people lost money. It was on the fact that Logan himself said he didn't to get any money from it, which the problem with that is it does not matter if you made money on it. You are the face of this thing, and it's under your name and business entity.
Yeah, he was trying to use the whole, I didn't make any money off of this. Okay, but your people lost money.
Exactly. You are the sole face and the reason people even know about the project. You're the reason it was promoted. It's the same thing with, remember a couple, I think it was halfway through last year, the whole phase thing with the whole Save the Children or whatever it was. The same thing. Those guys were the face of it. If you guys are going to be the face of it and promote it, you got to take the backlash if there's anything that goes wrong as well. Whether you made money or not, it does not matter. And it was funny because Jirari on his video, he was talking about it. One of the episodes of the 3-part series was originally for early access on his Patreon. That's what I was mistaking it with. It was originally in early access, and it was getting to a point where it was so detailed and getting so specific that Logan Paul himself, CoffeeZilla, posted a screenshot that Logan was subscribed to the Patreon to see it early.
Yeah, and Logan said on his first of all, CoffeeZilla made a 3-part series totaling for almost an hour and a half of content on YouTube. Just the YouTube content without the extra interviews alone. Just that alone. An hour and a half of pure investigation of this fucking dude, of this whole project.
Yeah.
And this isn't just Logan, this is the 2 other guys who were involved, Crypto King, that fucking scammer. He's been doing this bullshit.
CryptoZoo, and then
Crypto King is the guy who was with Logan.
Okay,
and then there's the other motherfucker who was holding the code ransom in Europe or whatever the fuck happened.
Bro, you would think you'd want the main code.
Okay, if that's what's happening, just put it on blast right away.
Right. Why would you hold off on that?
There was a Discord server for CryptoZoo that Logan only posted in a total of twice.
Yeah.
And he left it for months on end. I'm like, dude, these are investors.
These are people, and the guys were saying they're investing $20,000, $50,000, $500,000.
Even if it is something bad that's happening, you should be fucking putting it on blast
if you know there's people with significant investments, you should probably make sure they know, because with the one guy
this guy's holding, if anything. You would think this guy's holding the code ransom. Tell your investors and be like, put it on blast. Be like, look what this guy's fucking doing. And then most likely the public pressure is going to get to the guy.
Yeah.
And he's going to fucking be they're going to force his hand.
Yeah.
Keeping it a secret is just going to allow the guy to fucking snake around even more.
And
the crazy thing is, it's a group chat. They were all snaking each other.
Yes.
They were all
it was a chain of scammers. It was the most. This is how I saw it. It was the illest pyramid scheme ever created.
They scammed each other. All of them. They were so eager to get this scam done that they scammed each other. The three. There was like 4 guys in a group chat.
This was the most elite pyramid scheme we've ever seen created. And they were just chaining scams together. Like it was who can bullshit the best at a certain point. But I think what CoffeeZilla did, and again I'm crediting Jamari for giving me this to bring up. I'll link his video to it as well because he does like really funny like reactions to these. But if CoffeeZilla had never made his series, I 100% agree with this take that he would have never sent that Logan would have never sent.
Oh no.
100%. He would just let it go. It would have gone under the rug, and nobody would have never hit the public eye again. Mm-hmm. And then the thing that a big one that really set it off was that he moved on to that what was that 99 Originals Polaroid bullshit right after. Mm-hmm. Dude, I went on 99 Originals website. I don't know if you were in the Discord when I was doing that, but shout out to the Finer Fam Discord, by the way. We'll put that link down below too if you guys want to join that. Trying to get that one popping. But I was in Discord and I was showing some people.
Have you been using that one?
I've been hopping in there every now and then with some people. I looked at the prices that they were sold for, like the Ethereum prices. Dude, the highest one was like $85,000 for one of those Polaroids. I'm like, for a picture that you
well, I will say this about
those actually got sent to them though.
You get an actual the actual Polaroid. Which
you get the digital. Cool. You get the digital and the physical.
I like
$85,000.
I like that one, but yeah, $85,000 is kind of nuts. But
kind of.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, that's a bidding war. You didn't make that price.
No, 100% agree. It's a bidding war, but that's what the final bid was, and that's what paid out. So.
And apparently, you get access to some DAO, some sort of
some
Originals DAO, and you get to be a part of what they spend it on. I don't know. I think a lot of it. The DAO money went to charity or something.
Yeah, that's what it said on the website or whatever.
But who knows? Who knows how much of that is true with Logan? And I've liked Logan for a while now. I liked his redemption arc and everything. But
now he's kind of in the shitstorm.
He's snaky, and I'm gonna continue to enjoy his content.
But a little bit of a different way to say.
Yeah, just I don't
know. Speaking of content. I'm sure you're aware of what was popping off, I think last year, halfway through last year, maybe even the year before. The pink sauce shit, did you run across, I'm sure you came across seeing people with the pink sauce bullshit.
Yeah, they were putting shit in it, chemicals, right?
Yeah, essentially they made
poison.
It was botulism essentially was being created out of this. But apparently, I saw this the other day, apparently it's in major stores now, it's in Walmart. So somehow... I don't know who. I think look it up real quick. Look up who invested in pink sauce. There's a company. I think it was some sauce company that invested in pink sauce.
Did they make it good?
I guess they revamped the recipe to be able to sell it in stores, but it's actually in
Dave's
Walmart.
Gourmet partners with social influencer.
Yeah, the Chef P or whatever her name is. Right? Yeah, that lady is a piece of shit. I watched this interview and I think we talked about this before. It might not have been on the podcast, it might have been Discord or whatever. But she went on a talk show. Because some lady, remember when it was all going down, she was sending these bottles of spoiled sauce. Some lady sent it to a lab to see if it was edible. That's it.
Oh, there wasn't chemicals in it. They were sending it unrefrigerated.
Yes, unrefrigerated, so it's spoiled, and there was milk in it. You can't eat spoiled milk. You're gonna get sick.
That's crazy.
So, what happened is this lady posted a TikTok of her showing the bottle and showing that there was glitter in the sauce. You can't ingest glitter. Like arts and crafts glitter.
God.
What kind of...
There's edible versions
yes,
of that.
But it was regular Elmer's crafts glitter in the bottle, in the sauce. Not in the bottle, but actually
this ain't your Goldschlager.
Yeah, so apparently, so what happened is the lady sent that in for lab review. That's it. Not to be to deface the company or anything, or to cause any defamation, but to see if it was safe. They then, this lady, Chef P, whatever fuck her name is, invited her on this talk show with some random dude, and essentially they made it seem like the lady was the one who was the problem. They said, it pissed me off because she goes up to this lady and she grabs her hand like this. She goes, I'm gonna say this while I'm holding your hand. You're not special. And I'm like, whoa, this is your customer, you asshole. First of all, First of all, the worst part is the guy who was hosting the show was just meat riding the whole time, saying that she was right. What she was saying to this lady was right. A customer who's worried about public health. All she said was, I sent it to a lab to see if it's edible at any point in its life cycle. That's it. She didn't say it's bad. She didn't taste it and say, oh, this is horrible. That's it. She just wanted to check if it was safe, which is good. If anything, why get so defensive about it being edible or being safe if you know it is? Let them send it off and it comes back positive, then it's fine. Who cares?
When you're called in a bluff, you get fucking defensive.
That's what dude,
That's why, look at Logan Paul.
There is so many, the internet is full right now, is peak content for people being so against just accepting like, oh, I messed up, that they will go to hell and back to prove that they are not in the wrong when they are clearly in the wrong.
Accountability is like
zero right now.
No one wants to take accountability for anything.
So this girl, like I said, the talk show happens. The guy is meat riding the whole time. Whoever is, the host, I don't know his name, but his show sucks. All he does is he called her on there essentially to give her a platform to just bash this lady who was completely in the right, and they tried to make it seem like she was wrong. And so at the end of the show, the guy, they're talking like, going over the last few words, and she goes, I think this is a time for all of us to reflect. The lady who gave the review, right? Mm-hmm. An honest review, nothing wrong with it. And the host goes, I think you need to do more of the review, the reflecting. I'm like, what? What are you talking? Whoa! What? So apparently, after all this BS, the lady not even knowing that the FDA stood for Food and Drug Administration, she's like, I make food. Why do I need the FDA involved? What? How are you making a food product and you don't know that the FDA has to be a part of that? You need FDA approval. And so, even with all that, with all the negative content that went around this person, just the person who owns the business alone, Dave's Famous Sauce or whatever it was, isn't that what it was? Invested, money and put it in, I think it's Walmart that it's in now.
Yeah, it said Walmart shelves.
Yeah, I don't know how you reward that business being so bad, as well as the owner itself being such just a piece of shit. But yeah, that blew my mind. I think that rewarding absolute just bonehead behavior is so common in today's market and economy of things. It's just annoying. But speaking of hospitalizing people with obviously diseasing products, outside of diseases, big name in content has been in the hospital for a little bit now. Andrew Tate was in. At first he was arrested, and then he was in the hospital.
I think the hospital thing sounds fucking sketchy, man.
Yeah. It's
what?
What?
The fuck?
Dude goes to the jail.
He's not in the hospital anymore.
No, not anymore.
I think he was for like a few hours.
Yeah, but they said he had some like weird, unknown.
I think that was complete. I think that was all fucking people just blowing smoke. I don't think there was anything actually wrong with him.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he probably had an evaluation to go through the prison system or whatever, but he's been tweeting and shit. So
yeah, so I don't know. Wherever he's being held or if he's not being held.
Elon Musk. I mean, whatever you think of Elon Musk, what he's doing for
Twitter and censorship is amazing.
Anti-censorship is fucking awesome. Right now.
Elon, let's get Elon on the pod. We'll give him a little.
That would be crazy.
Get Elon on the pod.
That dude is a fucking robot, bro. Oh my god.
I saw somebody, I don't know who it was that was talking about it, but they said like his level of like intelligence is like on a different level. They said like there was people having issues at his like what is it, SpaceX that he works on or something like that? What is it that Elon works on? SpaceX, right?
SpaceX,
yeah,
Tesla.
They said that there was something. There was something that was going on. I think it was either SpaceX or the Boring Company, and they couldn't figure it out. And he said they asked if he could come in to take a look at it. And he comes in. They said he figured it out within like 5 minutes. Like it was something that they were stuck on for hours. They said he just came in like 5 minutes. He knew what it was. It's like the amount of like it just shows like how involved he really is in some shit. Either that or he's just that smart.
And he's autistic.
Yeah, well. I know that, but I mean, it's not like severe, like. But
no, but I mean, that's an example of like how it can fucking.
Yeah, how it can really work. Because people, as much as mental illnesses are, an unfortunate thing, and I put air quotes around that, not to make it seem like a bad thing, like, nothing wrong with anybody who has to deal with shit. It's unfortunate that you might not be able to socialize as well, or whatever the case may be, but in some cases, like, and even if it's more high functioning, a lot of people who deal with that stuff are actually really smart. It's just people don't know how to interpret it because it doesn't come out the same way.
Yeah, and it makes him fucking hyper productive, but also he never just relaxes.
That's what I'm saying. Like people are saying, like maybe he's just like, especially because he has so many ideas. He's like his mind is never resting. He's always going, which in some cases can be good. Like for his stance, where he's like he needs to. He's at a position like, what do I do now? You know, he's always just trying to do shit. I think in a sense, as a guy who's just running businesses, it can be a good thing, but at the same time, he has no way to turn it off, you know? So even at home, he's just like, damn.
And now he fucking added Twitter to the mix.
Yeah, now Twitter's in the mix too, so that's even more shit. That's what I'm saying.
And he's gonna lose a ton of money on that, but I think he knows, obviously he knows.
It's worth the investment, though.
It's about the censorship thing.
Yeah, he's looking at the long game for that one.
I don't think he would have done this if he wasn't a victim of the censorship.
Yeah,
I think they kind of opened his eyes to it.
I don't think so.
And I think fucking letting Tate and Trump and
Kanye and all these other people just go to work
back onto the platform is just like,
because a big chunk of Twitter's audience follows for those people specifically.
To me, like, I get that they have like influence and shit, but really, I don't think Twitter is a platform that there's like a lot of kids on. Like impressionable.
Twitter is. There's some, but it's not like
but not
TikTok.
like TikTok and not
Twitter is like, I would say Twitter's audience is mid to late teens and up. That's it. I don't think I really had Twitter until I was like halfway through high school, I think even.
And I to me it's like, I don't like the banning people who
talk their
done
mind.
anything like.
That's what I'm saying.
Inherently.
Like when people ban somebody off of a platform for saying their mind or like saying something that's a little bit outlandish. That is essentially, and then saying that the reason is because they could influence the wrong people. In my opinion, that's the same thing as like saying video games make people violent. That's my opinion.
Yeah, if they have a bad view, just let them have their bad view. Let them be a piece of shit.
You fueling the fire and banning
them drive people away, and don't force people away who want to agree with them.
When you ban them and then start posting, oh, we're not gonna allow this type of content. That's what fuels people to go follow them and be more on it. Because now you're like, oh, you banned somebody, I like to see their views, and like, maybe some people honestly follow them just to get a laugh out of what they say. So you banning them it just fuels the fire of, oh, I'm gonna keep pushing what they were saying because that was entertaining. Because the thing is, like I said, somebody saying some stupid shit on Twitter, and you saying, oh, that's the reason some kid went and started being a public menace or some whatever fuck you want to say, is like the same thing as saying, oh, someone played Grand Theft Auto, now they went and robbed a bank. That's not how that works. You consciously still have to make those decisions to do those things. Somebody saying it on Twitter or you watching it on a TV show doesn't make you do it. Like, as much as y'all might want to think that, I'm sorry, it's just the world just doesn't function that way.
Oh boy, Andrew Tate.
Yeah, I mean,
oh boy.
And the thing is, this is staying with that. Andrew Tate recently, I don't know if you saw it yet, but there's like this voicemail thing that leaked or whatever, and apparently it's from like 2015 or 2016, something like that. But people are saying it's like, and like I had a feeling people were gonna do this right away, but I went to the comments and people were like, that's not Tate's voice, that's generated, that's AI. I'm like, dude, I wouldn't be surprised. But at the same time, somebody can, from 2015 is almost 10 years ago. That's 8 years ago now, right? Somebody could sound completely different 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I know I didn't sound like this 8 years ago.
No.
So.
But at the same time, isn't he like 35 or something, Andrew Tate?
Yeah, but I mean,
probably sounded the same.
He might have sounded a little different, which it didn't sound far off, but it sounded close enough to where it could be like, oh, that might be him. But the thing that somebody posted,
36. Somebody
pointed out, I think it was, and I don't follow them, but I just saw because their clips come up on TikTok. I think it was Fresh and Fit, whatever the fuck, isn't that what they're called, Fresh and Fit or something like that? The podcast with all those dudes on there.
I have no idea.
But they said it sounded like the thing that was off was the way that the pronunciations were coming out. Like it didn't even sound as similar to how he pronounced things. Like they were too exaggerated.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty damning if that is him.
Yeah. But with today's technology, I would not be surprised if it wasn't.
Because the other thing, there was another video that came out, like him hit behind the door with the girl behind the door and shit, and they were like, oh, it was some kinky thing we did, and the girl said it too.
Oh, yeah.
That was like, okay, maybe. But if this phone recording ends up being real, that's not some kinky shit. That's He said you like something like
I was empowered. You liked it. Like,
no.
Whoa.
He said it. He said like something like the fact that she hated it turned him on or whatever, and it's
the
like
fact that you
okay
hated
now
I had so much power.
that now it's like okay, dude.
Oh shit, buddy. Like even though
I know some people are like the dominant and submissive.
yeah,
thing, that's
that's a little out there.
Yeah,
like,
that.
And even like I've kind of had my sort of more positive look on Tate for the last few months, where he's been doing his sort of redemption arc thing, which hasn't been bad. It hasn't been too bad. But yeah, this is one of the things. Like, if this turns out to be real, yeah, even with all the stuff he's been doing to like kind of spread a positive message as of recently, but more positive message I should say. Yeah, there's no going back from that. Like, essentially having yourself admitting to some sort of essay on tape is yeah, that's rough.
Yeah,
that's rough, buddy.
I mean, it's just like there's all these crazy allegations against him, and I like I don't know, nothing's. It's yet to be proven.
Yeah,
so.
It's all up in the air. Obviously, we're just relaying shit that we've heard and giving our opinion on it. That's how y'all know how we are. That's how we're always gonna be.
To me, there's things he says I agree with, things he says that
what the fuck are you talking about?
think is completely wrong.
which for the most part is a lot of people's case. And then there's, which also pisses me off with today's, social media era we're in. A lot of people are just sheep. Like, they don't look into it themselves. They just see what other people are saying. They're like, yeah, that person's bad, or yeah, that person's
I saw
good.
some a meme that people have been relating to Logan Paul a lot, and it's like the picture of like the person with like it has like the LGBTQ flag,
yeah,
like, a bunch of shit, like every like Black Lives Matter, all the shit, and it just says I agree with the current thing. I saw that, and I was like,
yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm like, listen, there's right and wrong. I never want to be that person who just agrees to agree.
Yeah, no, fuck no.
And that's why I'm looking at the Andrew Tate situation the way
until it's proven. I'm saying
because
I don't know.
I know the left hates him, the right loves him. I don't know if he's really trying to be left or right. He doesn't even live in the United States.
Yeah, but apparently he's American, but he's not, or whatever.
I don't think it really matters to him anyway.
Yeah.
But
right, he's honestly, this is what I see it as. He's on a wavelength that he's just like, I'm just gonna live life, say what I want, and keep it pushing. Like,
it's just funny because like, this is the thing about censorship for me. It's statistically proven now with all the revelations on Twitter and shit. At least on Twitter, and most of
TikTok,
the other social medias follow suit, so it's the same there.
TikTok, especially.
I think it was something like
fucking shadow banning us.
85% of the censored content was right wing.
Yeah. Which
is complete bullshit.
Yeah, it's like I understand that there's some stuff that may upset you. That does not mean that it does not make it a fair opinion or a fair view or a fair fact in some cases. Just because you may not agree with it does not mean that it is not fact, opinion, or whatever it may be.
And the thing is, I think it's been kind of known by anyone who pays any attention at all to social media. Social media has been run by the left for years. And,
especially now.
And before this Twitter shit, I think generally Elon Musk was looked at more as like the left leaning, just like based on before that.
Yeah, but then he got.
And then
as soon
as he started being anti-censorship, now the left hates him, and he's a.
Now apparently he's the most elitist.
Yeah, now he's a Republican fucking right wing nut because he's
even though he's not even from the U.S.
And
either.
it's like, dude, because why? Because he re-platformed right wing people.
Yeah.
Just because he's trying to make an even playing field.
Because in today's day and age, if you don't agree with everyone, then you're a right wing elitist, and you can't say your mind on it.
It's because the headlines are saying Tate and Trump.
And mind you, this is coming from the Midwestern black dude who, if anything, should be on whatever side of the spectrum you want to say. But I'm sorry for all the people who are out there who expect so and so from such and such people. That ain't happening. That's not happening around here. I'm the last, and we had this happen in a Discord call where some kid came in looking for the pity me this, pity me that bullshit. Yeah, the
motherfucker. Yeah.
And I was like, bro, I'm sorry. As a dude who isn't, white and, the generic, whatever you want to call it, you don't fit the description type of motherfucker, I'm not giving you that benefit of the doubt. At the end of the day, if you choose to be offended by everything, I'm sorry that you're just pussy. That's just how it's going. That's it.
I mean, people can say really fucking nasty things, really shitty things, and it happens.
Yes, all the time.
Racism happens. It does happen.
And I said this. Yeah.
You can't sulk in a handful of people being racist to you like that, because as much as it sucks and it does happen, I think it's just like what someone says to you can only go as far as you let it.
Exactly,
sit.
And we said this on an episode before. I said, listen very closely to how I say it. The only way for one, obviously people of color, but anybody to get past racism is to get rid of its power. And the only way to do that in our way of living now is, instead of somebody says, and obviously this is going to get censored on fucking whatever platform, but if somebody goes around and says the hard R to you, and y'all know what word I'm talking about, I don't got to go out of my way to say it. If somebody says to you, and you sit there and get all mad about it, of course they're going to keep doing it.
How many videos do you see of, in a restaurant or a coffee shop or whatever, some old white dude saying N-word to a black dude, and the fucking dude punches him in the face. All of a sudden, obviously, was he right?
Was he right to tee off on him?
What was the
reaction?
Black guy right?
Yeah.
No. I mean, do I blame him? Also no.
No.
But, I mean, I don't blame him for hitting the fucking
teeing off on him.
But now you're getting arrested. Now you're going to jail.
And he's not.
Now your case looks worse than his, arguably. In legal terms, your cases are worse than his.
Yes.
Morally, he's fucking saying that just to get under your skin. He's starting it. But the best thing you could do when there's a guy like that, fucking laugh in his face.
That's what I said. Like, I said this all the time, and Joe knows. And obviously, I don't diminish the history of racism in any way or anything with the words that are uttered by some people. That's not what I'm saying here. That's why I said listen closely. All I'm saying is, if you choose to make it comedy instead of getting offended by it, it can no longer have power.
By letting it
get you, you're doing exactly what they want.
You're giving them power.
Yes, exactly.
And by making them look like a clown, you're gonna make them feel stupid.
Now exactly. Now the script is flipped, because now they're sitting there like, I called you the hard R. Why are you not mad? You're like, dude, I personally know the meaning to the word. I know the history behind it. And again, I said this before. I personally did not go through that. I know people in my family in the past, years ago, may have. I can't personally take offense to it because I was not there. And I know that's going to piss off so many people of color and so many people around the world. And that's exactly the reason we are still in the same fucking spot. So tell me I'm wrong now. So if you're listening to this and you just got offended in some slight way, that's exactly the point of what we're saying here. The reason that it still works and still gets to people, and the reason that it's still such a huge thing, is because people still choose to let it offend them.
And back to that example, like I said, I saw a video of this yesterday, which is why I'm using this example. Yeah. That old white dude, again, we're not saying he's right.
No,
he's
not
wrong.
at all. Not at all right. We're not diminishing that anyway.
If the black guy doesn't swing on him,
if he laughs it off or makes a joke out of it, like if he
now
goes,
the headline, now the caption is, "Man harassed in store, black man harassed in store."
Rewarded for his ability to control his emotion.
Whatever. But
yeah.
The black guy swings. Now it's black man assaults out 65-year-old white man in coffee shop.
Yeah. Did you see?
Now look what happened.
Oh, I have a perfect example of
this.
this.
Now your headline is completely different.
Yeah. There was a perfect example of this at the Patriots game. There was a black dude who went to his first Patriots game, right? First ever football game across the board. Some lady, I think it was some lady. She was harassing him, yelling at him, said a racial thing in there, in between there, and he didn't do anything. He stood there, laughed it off, looked at her like what are you talking about? Just trying to enjoy his first game. The owner of the Patriots called the guy personally and paid for him to go and sit with him in the box, the owner's box, the next game. Because the fact that he didn't swing on him.
Exactly. If he swings, he's never allowed at a game again.
No.
He's banned.
Yeah. And it's crazy how far people don't realize it will really go if you choose to make it into comedy instead of a actual offensive thing. Which it is, don't get it wrong. It's still, there is bad history behind it. But the way you react is what deems the future of the term being used and being powerful or not. So, all in all, just try to see it in a different light. Obviously, it might not be easy, but it's something that if you do, will completely change the path of where we go with it.
You keep a level head. It's going to make your case better in the end.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, someone can say the worst thing ever to you. They can say fucking the most heinous thing you could possibly think of. They could say it to you.
Yeah.
And they legally aren't going to get in trouble for it. Unless
Nope.
it's a threat or something.
Yeah.
But
you
they
still
can
have
call
to prove,
you whatever name.
even then, you still have to prove that
the
they
second
threatened
you put your hands on them, now you are at fault.
Yeah.
Whether morally, whether or not you're at fault, whatever.
Morally, but now physically
legally,
and on paper, legally, you are at fault.
Now you are at fault, and the headline is going to make you at fault.
Yeah, and that's all you're going to see.
What ends up on the news is going to be you assaulted this man.
Lock and key, you're going to jail, the end. That's all it is.
The headline goes from you were harassed to you assaulted this man or woman or whatever.
And not to make it seem like an assault, but the way it looked was assault. I don't know if you saw Misfits 4, if you watched it at all, or if you saw the highlights for it or anything.
I saw a little bit.
Holy shit, what a night. I'm going to be honest, I went to go watch it, and this is how fast the event was, just for people's context. It was scheduled at a fair enough time. It was like mid to late afternoon. By the time I was able to log on to the shit, all the fights were so fast, it was done before I even got on.
I was trying to get the correct stream on that.
Dude.
And I had to refresh it like 20 times.
It was done by the time I got on.
Yeah. I got on there, and I saw the whole, most of the first round of the KSI fight, and then I hear,
oh!
Had to refresh.
Buffered, it was over.
I'm like, fuck.
Dude,
oh, here we
there
go.
was so many knockouts. It was crazy.
Oh my god. Dude, did you see Faith Ordway get fucking...
Yeah. Dude, I had faith in her. Pun intended.
Yep.
I had faith in her. Pun intended. Shout out Faith Ordway. She got fucked up, but for her first fight, I would give her respect. That was pretty good. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. She hit, what's the other girl's name? Elle Brooke. Bro. In this case, W Brooke, because she won. But she took some rockets to the face. Like, there was one punch. They were in, like, a back and forth for a good little minute. They did, like, a little swap of position. And Faith threw the illest left hook, and it hit her square in the forehead. And she didn't even
I do think it was... I think the stoppage was slightly early, but I don't think Faith was winning that either.
No.
I mean, to me, like, Faith...
She should have played the distance.
Faith looked like she was trying to have fun with it,
yeah.
which is okay in a social media boxing event like that. But Elle looked like she was trying to kill Faith. She looked like more...
I think that's because she wanted a little bit more redemption for showing that she didn't really get hit the first fight. Which this fight, she did get hit a fair amount of times. She took some rockets to the face.
Yeah.
But I think for Faith going forward, I think she'll... As long as she... keeps training. Obviously, she seemed to, kind of be a little bit comfortable, in certain scenarios.
Well, the problem was her on the bag and in training, she looked fundamentally decent.
Yeah. I think she needs more sparring practice.
Well, yes, that exactly.
More in scenario practice.
She looked good on the bag, and then as soon as it got into an actual fight, it turned into a brawl.
I think if she spars more, she'll be good. Because I think it's more or less that she just wasn't comfortable with a more active target. But she did show, she had decent footwork. She had good placement as far as punches go. I think it's more or less now of being used to... Now she... Obviously, it was her first fight, so she wasn't used to getting hit. Now she has that... She knows, okay, it's going to hurt a little bit. Obviously, it's boxing gloves. You're getting smacked. But now she's kind of aware of what's going on and what's happening. And so I think going forward, she'll be pretty solid.
She completely just lost all her fundamentals as soon as she got in the... As soon as she
started bleeding, I think that's what the fundamentals were.
She was... I think she... and it's a fight.
Nerves.
It's
nerves kick in.
Passionate thing. And,
whether you like the person
especially if you're inexperienced, easy to turn into a brawl.
Oh yeah.
Really easy to turn into a brawl.
I think that's what and like a lot of people were saying, that's what is being shown with KSI's arc for his boxing career. Because at first, remember, he was swinging overheads, just looking down. Now he's
still kind of a brawler.
Now he's kind of got that little bit of kickboxing style. He's keeping the one hand out. He's kind of got a little feeling him out kind of stance. But the fight of the night, in my opinion, and surprisingly was the Salt Poppy and who was the other guy? I don't remember the other guy's name, but nonetheless, shout out to both of them. Salt Poppy, he's getting a lot of praise from a lot of people, not only just influencers, but actual boxers. They're saying he should just try to go through the lower circuits and get in, because he's 28 or 27. He should really try to do something, because he's got some footwork and some power. That dude is nuts.
People are. KSI, as much as he performed well, he's getting way too much credit.
Yeah.
Because...
I think 10 days getting ready
for how much people discredit Jake,
Yeah.
and over-credit KSI.
KSI's good. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, he's good, but
I think
if he fought Jake right now, it wouldn't even be close.
I think I would say depending on how the first round goes, or the first 2 rounds, because Jake one thing about his fights, he finishes his fights. He tries to finish them quick, which is fair. He's a power dude, of course. KSI tries normally what it seems how he fights. He has power, but the thing is with KSI, he has stamina. Like
yeah,
it is crazy.
But the problem with, even though he has high endurance, the problem with KSI's style is he's brawler. He brawls, and that if it's a fight that goes the distance, even with the endurance, if it goes the distance, just fundamentals will get you those points.
I think
and get you
I think the thing is with that, and that's what I was gonna say is I think one thing I noticed from these last 2 events that he's been in, he's starting to slow himself down. I don't know if you notice it or not, but he doesn't just go out and just start swinging like crazy, right? He has little spurts, but he waits and he looks for what he's looking for. Mm-hmm. Like he backed up, and the reason he got his knockout, he backed up, waited a few seconds, looked for what he was looking for, and then went in. Which is, if he ends up getting in a fight that goes distance, I think that alone, him being able to do that now, will be able to get him wins. I'm not saying he'll beat Jake right away. I think he should do a couple more fights that'll take distance.
Tyron.
That would be a good one. I think if he gets in a fight that will take more distance, for example, Tyron Woodley, or
I think if he can beat Woodley, he deserves a shot at Jake.
Yeah,
I think KSI and Woodley, I personally
pretty even.
I think Woodley would beat him right now.
Yeah. I think with more training and more time, I think KSI could have a chance, but I don't think right now in this current state, I don't think so. I think he needs a few more fights to get those bigger guys. But one guy I will say who probably, with the amount of power and I guess progress in his career he's shown, I really think Saul Poppy could fight some better dudes. That kid, 1, his footwork is crazy. 2, his placement is nuts, and 3, he has a fucking rocket of a left hook.
Isn't Deji fighting Floyd?
Yeah. No, that already happened, I think.
Did it?
I think it was on November 15th. It went into
the
rub.
I think it did, and I think Deji got completely fucking...
But, yeah, I think if
that did happen.
I think if KSI fights Jake now...
That's so under-marketed.
Yeah, it didn't go... I completely forgot it even happened.
Yeah.
I was looking for it.
It was just such a ridiculous thing that it seemed like it would...
Floyd was going for the cash. I'm gonna be honest. We all know.
I remember hearing now that Floyd went real fucking easy on him though.
I mean, we all know Deji's. Who fought him last? Logan, or was it Jake? Who fought him? Logan, right? Was the last person to fight him?
Yeah, Logan fought.
And Logan was in way better of a condition to fight him than Deji is. So.
Dude, I'm watching the highlights of Deji versus Mayweather, and it literally looks like they're throwing pads, dude.
Yeah.
It looks like they're hitting pads.
But
and literally, Floyd's going like this.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think that was meant to be like an actual fight. But in the future, who would you want to see like a big match? Like who do you think's the best to that? So we have
for KSI or just in general.
Just out of those fighters like Saul Poppy, KSI, who would you want to see fight? Out of those guys.
I mean, I want to see KSI fight Dylan Dennis. I wanted that to happen.
Dude, that's the big thing with KSI. I think. The thing is with Dylan Dennis would have been a good ass opponent. I don't know if he would have won that. I think it would have came down to decision for that one if somebody didn't get knocked out. I think like a lot of the opponents, like the bigger opponents, pulling out of fights is really getting annoying at this point. But I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, it's up to their camp. It's their choice. I mean, it sucks, but who would you want to see like you said, Dennis would have been a good one, but who would you say, for example, like Saul Poppy, like who would you think he would fight next? Who out of all the people that are in there right
now? I don't know. Maybe Sensei.
Sensei would be a good one. I think
Kenny's up there.
Kenny would be good. I think Kenny or Sensei would be good for Saul Poppy. Maybe even KSI. I would put them 2 against each other. I mean, they're the 2 best out of that group right now. I think that would be the best one. I think, power and style-wise, I feel like they would combat each other really well. Saul Poppy kind of plays it slow, finds his shots, and goes for the big shots.
People are saying Slim's pretty good.
Slim is a sleeper. His build makes him seem like he's a twig. He's not gonna be able to pull any power shots, but he has really good strategy. He really knows how to play the game.
I'm looking at this website for influencer boxing ranking.
What's the guy what's the guy's name who Slim fought? Damn.
B-Dave or something?
Yeah, no. B-Dave would fought Pineda. That was a good fight too.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the guy's name for the life of me right now. I'll insert it in editing. But he gave a really good fight. He had a fucking iron chin up until the last punch. It came down to decision, but I think if Saul Papi went against him, that would be a great match.
Maybe that Tom Zanetti guy was
that's who it is, Zanetti, yes.
Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah,
that guy, I
crazy.
think if Saul Papi fought him, that would be a fucking brawl. That was the best fight of the night. Respectfully, that might have been the best fight of the night because it went the whole way.
I want to see KSI fight Tyron Woodley.
Yeah, I think that's the next step. I don't know if he'll win or not. I can't say for sure. I would hope that it's a good fight and it's not like a quick 10-second fight where somebody gets knocked out within the first few seconds. But I think that would be a good one. Same with I think Saul Papi and Zanetti would be a good one.
Jake Paul's gonna fight MMA. You didn't see that?
I'm not saying I didn't see it, but I didn't see it. But what my face, the reason I make that face is because like MMA, as much as boxing is easier to get into, it very much is. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's an easy sport. It's easier to get into than mixed martial arts because of the fact you have to know everything. Getting into mixed martial arts late is hard.
He just partnered with what's it called? Something FL.
I don't know. But are we talking about? Is he going into kickboxing or like full blown MMA?
No, he's signed a 2-fight contract. So what happened is
okay. I'm gonna make this. This might be a hot take, but I think, in as much as I like Jake Paul's fights, I'll be honest, they're entertaining. They're giving entertainment to the sport. I really fear that he'll have like a CM Punk sort of debut. I don't know if you saw that or not. Did you see when CM Punk fought in the UFC?
Yeah.
I think that if Jake Paul goes into the UFC,
not going to
or
UFC.
not UFC, but MMA, I think that might be how it goes.
PFL, that's where it is.
PFL, okay.
He's signed with them, but he's got like partial ownership in it now too. He's fighting in like his own league essentially. He's making a new division. It's called the super fight division.
Oh.
And it's
that's a little concerning. But I will say, like I said, if he's fighting actual like guys who have experience, like with MMA specifically, I'm not saying like how everybody he needs to fight someone who's a boxer or not. No, fuck all that shit. He can fight. Thank you for watching the episode. We're back with the crispy audio. Again, if you don't see the clip we recorded right before this, what happened was our mixer froze at 56 minutes and some odd number of seconds, literally as we were about to close out the episode. We were going to reset the cameras. We looked at the mixer and it was completely frozen, and it's saying our audio file is corrupt. So if you guys don't hear crispy audio throughout the episode, that is why. But
we might have to roll with camera audio.
But if you made it this far and we did have good audio, again, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here.
And if we didn't have good audio and you made it this far, you're a fucking real one.
Definitely.
If
you made it this far with the shitty audio, thank you for watching. Definitely share the episode. Subscribe if you're new. Thank you for coming back if you're a returning viewer. Like it. Leave us a comment. Follow us on TikTok, Spotify, and Instagram as well. Those will all be down below. Definitely interact with the episodes, the TikTok posts, and everything that comes with it. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.